Alright, quick update on Solana. So, I see a lot of people getting very euphoric over this move we've had today on Solana, up 23%. I follow a lot of the Solana community on Twitter and I see everyone buying the dip, everyone saying the bottom is in, and I'm a contrarian trader and these kind of signals do worry me with what I'm seeing in the market. So, let's jump into what I see going on. And do I see that the bottom is in or not? Because I made a video yesterday saying that Solana is macro bearish against Bitcoin, and I did also say that I believe Sol USD and Sol BTC do have further to capitulate before we do find a bottom. Have I switched on that? Let's talk about what's going on now. We have had a slight relief rally. Like we said, you know, we're up 24%. It's going to fluctuate as I make this video, as a lot of greed and euphoria has returned back into the market. You can see everything is moving up, everything is running, these altcoins are running back up, and that is, in my opinion, a very worrying sign, because normally when you see Bitcoin make a macro bottom, for example, if we were to go back, I can't speak about the previous cycles because I wasn't here, but I was here throughout this entire bear market, and I can tell you, once Bitcoin found its bottom, let me rewind it back a stage. Throughout this whole stage where Bitcoin had topped out from the all-time high and we were in this downtrend coming down to these lower price targets, everyone was still very bullish on altcoins because, you know, we broke down. You can see from here we had 55% pumps. You come down a few pegs further, you can see we did a 1x in the bear market. You know, during the bear market, Bitcoin doubled in price before it inevitably bottomed. So, I mean, Bitcoin came down to 25. Could that mean Bitcoin comes up to 50 before topping out? I don't necessarily think so. That's just my opinion, but I mean, it could be a possibility. I really don't think it's going to play out, but you can also see here 49% pumps in the crypto market before we rolled down. And what actually happened throughout this whole phase is, you know, the altcoins would get slaughtered against Bitcoin for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then for like a week or so they would pump like absolute crazy, and then we would dump, altcoins would lose all of their value, 80% down, 90% down, and then they'd go up another 50%, and then they come down another 80%, then they come down, then they come up another 50, down another 80, up another 50, and only at this moment in time where the data goes flat and no one has any more money to buy the dip is when the last capitulation comes in. And when I was in this capitulation, no one was buying altcoins. Absolutely all of the confidence left the altcoin markets, and it only returned once Bitcoin went up and started consolidating and making higher lows. This is when the altcoin season really started to happen. Altcoin season does not happen, you know, just like that. After these mass altcoin seasons, the retail traders need to be flushed out because they can't be profitable 24/7. That is not how these markets work. Markets are very cyclical, they move in cycles, and they move from cycles of retail traders being very profitable, retail traders not taking profits, getting emotionally attached to their bags, and then everything capitulates. And it's only when nobody has the money to buy the dip anymore that you see the bottom will be in. And what are we seeing right now? We're seeing peak greed, we're seeing peak euphoria. I'm a huge Solana bull. You clicked on my profile pic is a Solana NFT. If you go onto Solana or Magic Eden, type in Bounty Hunter Space Guild, you'll see my NFT. If you click on my YouTube profile banner, you type in Degen Trash Pandas, you'll see 2 Solana NFTs. I'm a huge Solana bull. I don't think it's going anywhere in the long term, but I'm looking at the data objectively. We've invalidated the 786 and we've only pumped up today to retest the previous all-time high. So you know, while Solana's below this all-time high, even when it's below your 786, which is at $73, we can pump up to $73. A lot of people get confused. They think, you know, Solana is up 57%, the bottom must be in. If they could see Solana go up 2x, up to $72, and they would be convinced that the bottom is in. But I want to show you, I know this is a Solana video, but I think it's very important that I show you what happened in the previous bear market. And I'm going to be focusing on a crypto that was very popular back in the day, and that was Litecoin. And I say very popular back in the day because altcoin is like the XRP of cryptos now. and it really didn't do too much significant pumping. I don't actually think we made a new all-time high. I think this chart is nonetheless, I'm going to take it back a step because I really want to talk about what happened in this bear market, and I want to correlate it to what's happening on Solana, because back here all the hype was for your Litecoins, your Ethereum Classics, XRP as well. And while we were in this bear market, you can see, we had 60%, 61% runs to the upside, and then we continued with the breakdown. Then we had 62% runs up to the upside. Then we continued with the breakdown. Then we had 39% runs to the upside. Then we continued with the breakdown. Then we had 57% pumps to the upside, continued with the breakdown, 140% pump, continued with the breakdown, and only when the last pump comes in, 68% pump on Litecoin against the US dollar. That is the last period of time where the retail traders, they've been saying, DCA, 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 when moon, when Solana moon, when XRP moon, in 1 month XRP $100, Solana summer is coming, Solana is going to $1,000. This is when the peak fear comes in, and when the last buy happens, this is when the retail traders lose all of their money. They buy the absolute last dip, and then this is when they don't have any more money to buy the dip, and then from out then you can see the dumps are very significant, but the pumps, they're very minuscule, and they don't have these big pumps. It's more just sideways, boring, choppy action to the downside, and only once that happens is the bottom in, and we have not seen that yet. People are still getting extremely greedy. You've still got Solana going up 24% in a day. You've still got these move to earn cryptos. You've still got people paying for Solana NFTs of apes that are worth, $10,000. You've got people who are buying, the DGen trash banners, which is like, I can't remember how much it is now. It's probably a lot cheaper, but $500 for a picture of a raccoon with a cigarette in its mouth. People are buying the green metaverse token shoes. They're paying hundreds of dollars for an NFT of a shoe so they can earn in this Ponzi scheme move to earn. And none of these projects are innovating. All the new projects we're seeing coming out right now is, green Satoshi token, FitFi, Dose, DFit, Move, green metaverse, green Satoshi. I think I've already said those two, and then FitFi. None of these are innovating. None of them are making new leaps and bounds in the market, and we haven't exactly seen a huge leap and bound in anything significant during this market. Previously, it was the stablecoin hype. Sorry, not the stablecoin, the privacy coin hype. No one wanted to make anything innovative back here in 2017. After the bull market topples in, it was all about riding these hype trains. It was Zcash, it was Monero, and I actually do like Monero, but none of these privacy coins back then did anything to innovate. They literally just copied each other, made a different profile pic, and slapped it on a new project and came out with it. And that's exactly what we're seeing with these move to earns. And because of all this peak greed and euphoria in the market, in my opinion, the bottom is not in. Keep a keen eye on the previous all-time high for Solana, $58. If we do manage to break above it, because I'm not saying we can't, I would not be surprised if we did come up for maybe 100% rally. Like I said, this would be only, oh no, if we drew it from the low, it'd be 100% rally. Like I said, this is not my first rodeo in a type of scenario like this. We can see 140% bounces, 60% bounces after 60% bounces, after 40% bounces, but you zoom out, and this is something the retail trader doesn't like to do. Retail traders like to look at the charts like this. Or I get people who do their chart analysis on the 5 minutes and the 10-minute time frame, and they I made a macro video on Solana yesterday saying, in my opinion, there are going to be lower price targets coming for Solana, and people message me the next day saying, do I still think that Solana is going down, or do I think the bottom is in? And it just really screams to me that people look at these lower time frames, they look at the 5 minute, and they're like, oh, look, we're bullish now. But you zoom out, the more you zoom out, the more you realize that the signs were there. we clear everything off the chart, and this is something I did in my last Solana video. You know, you draw from the low to the high, you've got a big bullish uptrend, you come down, we back tested the 786, we came up to your 0.5 Fibonacci, we confirmed it as resistance, and now we've capitulated below every EMA ribbon. This is a textbook trend reversal sign, and there's only so long people can ignore it for. So that's my opinion. I do think Bitcoin is going to continue to outperforming these altcoins, and that does not mean that, you know, these altcoins won't perform worse than Bitcoin every single day. In fact, you know, I want to highlight the Sol BTC chart, which is the most important chart to look at when we're in these kind of bear market territories. And, you know, I said from a Fibonacci perspective, Solana is still bullish against Bitcoin as long as we do close above 145. I do not think that we are going to hold this though. We are having a slight pump from it today. This is what is getting everyone out of bed. Everyone's getting bullish for this. And people forget, you know, the all-time high was up here. Everyone thought new all-time highs were coming when we went up 24%. Everyone was extremely bullish when this happened, when we went up 53%. I was bullish as well. But now I'm looking at it and I see that, you know, we've literally rejected from every EMA ribbon, and now we're kind of holding on the last level in the sand. If we do come up to the 618 fib and get rejected and come down, then, you know, it is going to be over for the next couple of months, in my opinion. I do think these altcoins have a lot further to go down against their Bitcoin pairs. I very much look forward to that, because I do have a list of altcoin projects that I am in favor of. I do like Solana, I like Dogelon, Mars, I like some of these dog coins. I feel like it wouldn't make sense not to just pick up a few dog coins at this moment in time. I like some privacy coins, like I like Monero. I do have my eyes on ApeCoin. I'd definitely be looking to pick that up next bear market low. I don't think these move to earns are going to be something that I'd look to pick up next bear market. Like I said, when you do have these bear markets, it flushes out all the weak shit coins that are just riding on pure hype trends, and, you know, new projects are forced to innovate. So Algorand as well, that is another great project that I do plan on picking up. That's all I've got from the top of my head at this moment in time, but do not be surprised if you continue to see, you know, Solana come up to $72. I mean, $72 would be a bearish retest. People don't understand, you know, we can go up another 30%, and all we'd be doing is confirming a downtrend. We could even come up to, you know, your $80 region, which would be the top of your daily EMA ribbon. So be very, very careful with this. Obviously, trade however you want. This is your own life, this is your own trading plan. My trading plan at this moment in time is to purely focus on Bitcoin and make sure I accumulate as much Bitcoin as I can while Bitcoin is below 34,000. So far it's worked out to the teeth. You know, today, like I said, Sol BTC is pumping, but I've been saying this for the past couple of days, and you know, you can see from when I started really hammering it in a couple of days ago on Twitter, Discord, I've been telling all of you that, you know, these altcoin pairs are going to go down. We're still down, you know, against Bitcoin. So what we're seeing today is simply, if we do come up to here, if we do get rejected at these levels, it's simply going to be another lower high. So be very, very cautious about getting sucked into the hype and the greed of these markets as they come down. Like I said, this is not my first rodeo. I've seen this all happen before. And to finish off the video, you know, the stock market's having a bounce today, which is all good. You know, the stock market looks okay, but the dollar looks exceptionally bullish, and it was only within this 4-hourly candle that we just pushed up and made a new all-time high. Not new all-time high, I think we have to go back like 10 years, 8 or 10 years in this direction before we can find the dollar's actual all-time high. I'm pretty sure it was in like the year 2000, 2002. I might be wrong on that, but it was years and years and years ago. It definitely hasn't been in the past 5 years or so. So I'm just going to call this the all-time high. What I really mean is it's the local high. The dollar's exceptionally bullish. While the dollar's bullish, it probably means that the Federal Reserve is increasing the interest rates, increasing the value of the dollar. While the Fed is increasing the interest rates, I do not plan on picking up any more altcoins. I'm all in on Bitcoin, and so far it's been working out on the BTC pairs. Let's see if it continues to work out. Nothing has changed since yesterday's video. Remember, we can get these short-term uptrends. We've seen it before. We've seen these 52%, 53% runs up. And, you know, even coming over to Litecoin, like I said, we've seen 140, 150% pumps in the bear market. If it's a lower high, then it's nothing to get out of bed for. And if we were to break out once again for Solana USD, you know, you can see this was our triple bottom. This is where the bottom is, coming in at 72. You know, you would not be bullish at this moment in time until you break above 143, which is miles away. And I feel like that is way, way, way too far. That's just my opinion. You know how I feel about this. I do love Solana. However, I have to look at things objectively. I did sell most of my Solana the other day, and I'm already able to buy it back for a huge, huge discount. So that's all I've got. Cowboy out. Peace.